guys, this is Kelly Martin. I'm a traditionally and independently published author of more than 30 books, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to do an extra special bonus video, which I'm really excited about. I used to do these every week, and it's called Ask Kelly Anything. And I ask on my Facebook page what questions you would like answered, and I put them all in this pretty box. I have some ASMR for you. All the questions are in this box. There was over 20 questions. Oh my gosh. I was pretty floored that there was so many questions. So I'm going to get into answering them. I'm going to try to get to all of them and try not to edit too much. So that's the goal for this extra special bonus video. Also, Priscilla had asked a question on one of my videos about how to keep things interesting during the slow parts of a horror book, and I decided I'm not going to answer that in this video because that's a little bit longer of a topic. So in August I'm going to have different how-to videos on how to write horror books, and one of those videos will be how to keep the pacing and how to keep the suspense going through the slower parts. So be sure to check that out in August, especially you, Priscilla. So I will hopefully answer all your questions. If you have any more questions, or if anybody has any questions about anything having to do with writing scary books or ghost stories or horror books, be sure to leave a comment, and I will be sure to put that answer in one of the August videos. Okay, here we go. Question number 1 is from Joe. What books on craft do you recommend? Of course I cut these out, so I put them in here, so I did see the questions. I didn't know what order they were going to come in. But my favorite craft books are The Emotional Thesaurus by Angela Ackerman and Becca Politsky. You know I'm terrible saying names, I'm so sorry. And The Emotional Craft of Fiction by Donald Moss. Obviously, I need help putting, emotion in my books. And this is a new one that I just bought. I read it one day. It's The Writing and Release Rapidly. I thought I wrote fast. I thought I released fast. I was very wrong. Elena Johnson. Duh. It's really good. And I just ordered her new book. I think it's on Blurb, right? It's writing a copy, which, if you're not an author, that might not be exciting to you, but I'm really excited to get it, so it should be here Monday. I'm happy about it. Next question is from Stephanie. What's your least favorite part of the writing process? My least favorite part is deadlines. I think that's my least favorite part. I like making deadlines, but the stress of keeping up with deadlines is kind of stressful. So I think that's it's a necessary evil, but that's my least favorite part. Okay, Susan, does your family read your books? Yes, they do. My mama and my sisters and some of my cousins read my books. My mama wants me to put more romance scenes in my books. Her favorite book is The Beast of Ravensden, and it's not even a scary book, but the scariest scene I ever wrote was in that book. But it's not a scary book, it's a historical book, and there's a library scene, and Mama was a fan. Okay. Number, like there's numbers. Susan asks again, where do you go for research? The internet, mainly. I watch a lot of Ghost Adventures, Ghost Hunters, Ghosts, Most Haunted, anything ghost related. I go abandoned house hunting a lot. We're going to the Waverly Hills Hospital at the end of July for my daughter's birthday. So just different places, just listening to different stories. Research wise, usually usually the internet. I was researching the Revolutionary War yesterday, which I've never researched before for a book, so that was interesting. Spoiler for things to come. Okay, Susan wants to know your favorite snack while writing. I'm not much of a snacker while I write because I like to keep both hands on the keyboard, so usually I chew gum. I know that's exciting. Chewing gum. Lichelle wants to know, do you go to haunted places for research? And technically I kind of live in a possibly haunted house, so I kind of live in a research facility. I go, like, I've been to different houses. If you're on my Instagram, there was a house that's kind of close by that was a hospital, and it was a something else. And I went there for some research, more ghost story research purposes. I don't even know if any of it's true, but most ghost story related. We're going to Waverly Hills. Like I said, that's a research birthday trip, so we have that going. So I like to go different places. I just don't get to get out very much and go to like talk to people for different things or different stories that's going on. Susan, who has read your books that surprised you to know they read your books? Oh gosh, I don't know. That's kind of a hard one. People tell me they read my books. I don't know who. There's a lady that lives down the road. I'm Southern. That's how we tell distance. And I was kind of surprised she liked my scary books. I knew she liked my other books, so I was kind of surprised she liked my scary books. So I guess that was a surprise. Susan, what is the creepiest place you've ever gone for research? I think that house was the creepiest place I ever went to. The house that used to be the hospital. That was a very creepy. It was beautiful though. There's a lot of pictures of it on my Instagram. It was beautiful, but oh my gosh, it was kind of on the scary side of life. All right, next question is from Tara. Are you a plotter or a pantser? I used to be, if you don't know, a plotter is somebody that outlines their story, and a pantser is somebody that just sits down and writes from the first word to the last word. I'm more of a pantser. I used to be totally pantser. I never outlined anything. Now, I'm a little bit of a plotter, but it kind of makes me stress to plot. So, you know, I'm a pantser who's trying to be a plotter. And we'll see how that goes. That's my answer to that one. Okay. Tara and Linda want to know, they basically had the same question. What gives you inspiration? A lot of times, TV shows I'm watching gives me inspiration. If I hear a ghost story, that gives me inspiration. Last night, this is strange. Last night, I was plotting a book, and my youngest daughter was in the room with me, and she wanted to watch Netflix, so we turned on Netflix, and she was watching this little she was watching Miraculous. I don't know if any of you seen that. It's on the kids Netflix, and 2 scenes in Miraculous helped me plot my ghost story. You don't ever know where inspiration's gonna come. I was very excited. She was happy that she helped. Okay, Reagan wants to know my weirdest writing habit. Okay, this is weird. Sometimes, a lot of times, I write with my eyes closed. And I think, I know that's weird. I can picture things better with my eyes closed. I don't get distracted with my eyes closed. I can just sit with my eyes closed and type. And yeah, there's typos, but those are easy to go back and fix, and at least it's written. So I write with my eyes closed. Not all the time, but 75% of the time. Susan, what's your funniest fan experience? I was at a book signing and had a speaking talk at this place too. And this lady was so excited. Like, you had to have tickets to come. And she was so excited. She had her ticket. And she sat through the whole thing. And she came up to meet me. And she was like, you did a great job. She bought a book. I don't know if it was out of pity, but she bought a book. But she thought that she was going to get to meet the actress Kelly Martin, you know, who's on all the Hallmark shows, who was on ER, Life Goes On, Sequest, that Kelly Martin. She thought that's who she was going to meet. And I'm not her. Bless her heart. Okay, James wants to know my favorite dinosaur. My favorite dinosaur would have to be either a Tyrannosaurus Rex, a Tyrannosaurus Rex. I just mixed two dinosaur names. Oh my gosh. It would either be a Triceratops, is what I was trying to say. A Triceratops. Or, I don't know the name of them, but you know those dinosaurs that were like in Jurassic Park, and the guy had the canister of like the dinosaur stuff, and he was trying to get through the forest, and he got detoured, and then these little dinosaurs come up to him, and then they went. I like those. I don't know the name of them, but I like them. All right, next question. Stephanie, what is it about the horror genre that you like so much, and do you prefer reading or writing them? Ooh. I like how human horror can be. Like, you can have something that's really bothering you, or something that's like really, well, think about like Buffy and all the social issues Buffy hit, but with a horror element to it. Because sometimes it's easier to talk about scary real life things in scary fictional places. And I think you feel a little safer that way too, which is kind of strange. Do I prefer writing it or reading it? Probably both. I like doing both. I've said this before, I don't like gory horror, but I do like reading horror, and I like writing it. So I guess a little bit of both. Is that cheating? It's probably cheating. Next question. Anya, I think her name's Anya, or Anya. A-N-I-A. I think it's Anya. What's the hardest book you've ever wrote, and how long did it take you to finish it? The hardest book I ever wrote was not a scary book. It was way long, a few years ago. I decided I was going to try Regency. I was going to try writing romance. That's what I was going to do. Historical romance. That was going to be my thing. And I wrote Betraying Ever After, who has probably the scariest villain in it, and he's very human. And I wrote The Beast of Ravenston, which has the scariest scene in it, but it's not a scary book. Yeah, no. And then I needed to write the third book in the series, and it was called The Glass Coffin. And I had the hardest time writing that book because I had such anxiety about it. I guess anxiety is a good word for that particular thing. I was so freaked out over writing that book because I had such a hard time with the first two that I was so worried about the last one. And it took about a year on and off, actually. Like, I wrote a few things in between and published them. But yeah, that was difficult. And you can tell when you read it that it was very, very difficult to write. Alice, what made you want to be a writer? Well, I always liked writing stories. My favorite thing in school. I remember 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, we had to write stories, 1-page stories with our spelling words. We had to put 10 spelling words in there. It was my favorite thing, my favorite assignment to do. I loved it, and we got to go up front if we wanted to and read them, which was so much fun. So I loved that part of it. And then when I got out of school, well, I was still in college, I started doing fan fiction. I know. And then when my daughters were born, I wanted to try my hand at original fiction because part of it was so I could make extra money. I know it's not glamorous to say that, but that was kind of I wanted to see if I could do it. And if I can make a little extra on the side, you know, that helps too. Any little bit helps. You know how that is. Okay, next question is from Susan. What author, living or dead, would you like to talk to? Okay, I'm going to do this both. Living and dead. I would love to talk to Mary Shelley. I think she is a very interesting person, and I would love to talk to her to just kind of get her side of the story of what happened and how she wrote Frankenstein and all this stuff, things with her husband, you know, the gossipy parts of it, and just her being a lady writer back in the day. And I would love to talk to, who are living current day, Victoria Schwab, of course, Mary Down in Hawn, which we all know is my favorite author. And I would also like to talk to Kendar Blake, who I'm Facebook friends with, but I've never actually PM'd, private messaged. So those would be the 3 that I would love to just have a conversation with. I have 3 questions left. Look, 3, we're getting there. Okay. Stephanie, who is your favorite character of all time in all of your books? Y'all, okay. I have a very, 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 very soft spot for Hart in the Heartless series. I love him. I miss him so much. I wish that I hadn't ended Reckless like I did, so I could have kept going with the series and kept going with Hart, because I love Hart. I love his backstory. I love he's a bad guy, but I just love his arc, and I miss him very much, and I miss the Heartless series. I really do. If I could go back and change anything, I would go back and I would change the ending of Heartless, or not Heartless, the ending of Reckless, which is the 4th book, and make it where I could keep it going in a series, because I really, really, really miss that series and miss Hart. Susan, getting all teary. Oh my gosh. Susan, what is your best fan experience? And I'm going to say that every fan experience, except one, and it wasn't the funniest one. I liked that fan experience too, because I kind of expected that, has been my best fan experience. I love when people who've read my books come up and talk to me. I love meeting people at conventions. I love meeting people at book signings. I love, like, there was this book sign I was at in Roanoke, and this lady's husband told me, like, the lady was acting, you know, or trying to act all calm, and the lady's husband, who gave her away, was like, "You're the reason we came here. She saw you were coming. She wanted your books. She loves your books. You're her favorite author." And I was like, oh, it made my heart all happy. So that was I love that. Any fan experience, though, anytime anybody comes up to talk to me, or, you know, to see me, or tell me how much they like my books, or they've read my books, that's amazing, because writing is very solitary. And then you put it out in the world, and you want people to like your baby. And when people actually read your book, and they tell you they've read your book, and they're so excited to meet you because you wrote that book, that's fun. I love that. Last question. Okay, here we go. Susan, your favorite book as a child. Oh, can you see it? My favorite book as a child, when we used to go to the library when I was little, And there was one book, they let me check it out every 2 weeks. Was it? No, it was every other 2 weeks, because we had 2 weeks. We could keep it for 2 weeks, and then I had to take it back, and then they would let, because I was checking it out so much that I had to, they made me skip a week. And it was a nonfiction book on dinosaur fossils and rocks. But I loved it. I loved it so much. So that was my favorite book. I don't remember the name of it. It was a really old book back then, and that was 30 years ago. But I loved it. It had dinosaur eggs, like fossilized dinosaur eggs in it, and it had different kind of rocks in it, and I used to collect rocks, and I thought it was the greatest thing ever. So yeah, that was my favorite book as a child. Has nothing to do with anything with this part, but yeah, I love that book. I love that book. I wonder if it's still there in the library. I should go see. Okay, that's it. That's all the questions. Thank you so much for asking. I put the post up yesterday. I was like, I'm going to ask Kelly anything. Is there anything you want to know? I went back. There was like 21 comments. I was like, oh my gosh. I was so excited. Thank you so much. Like I said, if you're interested in the horror how-to video series that's coming in August, and there's any particular question you have about it, like Priscilla, can you leave me a comment so I'll know exactly what things to hit? I have a few things I want to hit, but it's just so I know what you're looking for. There's not going to be any bloopers at the end of this video because I'm trying to make it straight through since it's a special bonus Saturday video. I'm sorry, I love doing the bloopers, and I think y'all like watching the bloopers. Next week, I already have the 2 videos edited. There are bloopers, y'all. They're bloopers. If you've never watched the end of my videos, it's like a Marvel movie. There's Easter eggs at the end, and my Easter eggs are bloopers. You're welcome. Like I said, thanks everybody who asked a question. I really appreciate it. I hope I answered them well. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe. I'll do Ask Kelly Anything maybe once a quarter, maybe once a month. I'm not sure. We'll kind of see how it goes. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. We've been having a lot of fun conversations at Facebook lately, so that's awesome. And press the notification bell if you want to know when I put up new videos. I put up videos 1 or 2 times a week, usually on Mondays, and sometimes some bonus videos as well. I will see you definitely Monday for a new video. It's all set and ready to go, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Thank you for the questions. Leave any comments down below, especially if you want to know anything about the horror how-to thing that's coming in August. Okay, have a great, great, great day. Bye.